Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT TakeOver review for the 4th of October 2020. Overall, a really good show. Takeovers are usually, I'd say, 9 out of 10 times they're good shows, but this one proves to be exactly that. They're shorter, they're concise, they have matches that have decent value to them, and they've been built. They also did announce that the Halloween Havoc WCW concept will be brought back as an NXT concept on the 28th of the month. Really wish they weren't doing this that close together. I'm totally in favor of them doing a Halloween Havoc, but not so in favor of it being a couple of weeks after this. I guess it's going to be a like a Wednesday night special, sort of, to get the name out there or something. I don't know. Like a basically a normal NXT show with the Halloween Havoc name. Anyway, show opens up with a montage of footage from Capital Wrestling, and they even show a quote from Vince McMahon putting over the WWF product in 1977. And then we see Capital Wrestling Center, or what they've decided to call the venue. And it's an interesting spin-off. Anyway, we open with Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano for the North American title. Gargano runs at Priest early. He does not attack. Priest ends up hitting a spin kick and chase Gargano away. Gargano manages to put a few boots to Priest, but it's clear that the part of the story of the match is going to be Gargano being scared of Priest. Not a bad thing. And then Priest gets up, hits a spinning roundhouse kick, and Priest is definitely showing good athleticism here. I still don't get the gimmick, but I will say this: in big match scenarios, he does deliver. Gargano uses an arm drag and sends Priest to the floor. Priest does a flip bump onto the floor. Ouch. And Gargano lands a tope and then takes Priest back in, regains control. Priest launches a comeback and hits Flatliner. He goes for the Razor's Edge. Gargano gets out of that. And then we see kind of a sunset bomb from Gargano. Priest hits a Superman punch, then misses a spin kick. Gargano comes back with a lariat, and Priest goes to the floor again. Priest then uses his high spin kick, knocks Gargano from the apron. He hits a Razor's Edge onto the apron. Again, ouch. And then rolls Gargano back in for near fall, and they go back and forth with high spots and near falls. They use the sliced bread and a running lariat from Gargano. That's another near fall. Gargano makes fun of Priest, and then Priest shifts momentum back in his way, hits a sit-out chokeslam that's really cool looking for a 2 count. Priest climbs to the top rope for the finish. Gargano rolls to the floor. Priest decides to do a tope over the corner. Gargano drags the security guard into the line of fire, and then Priest takes out 2 guards. Gargano lands a low blow and then slaps a submission hold on Priest, and Priest manages to get his leg to the bottom rope for the break. Gargano tries knocking Priest from the apron onto the steel steps, and Priest takes out one of the Priest basically takes a massive bump here. Gargano gets kicked in the face instead, and then he spikes Gargano with the Reckoning for the pin. Priest retains, As much as I don't get Priest's gimmick, this is the best match I've seen him in thus far, and I support them leaving the belt on him for a while. Kushida up next against the Velveteen Dream. Kushida beats him by submission. Yay! Hopefully this means he'll go away. I know it doesn't, but I'm sorry. I've been the victim of grooming when I was a younger person. I don't care what the legalities are. Even that he's dancing close to that line with celebrity makes me uncomfortable. Anyway, so Kushida goes right after Dream in the beginning. He goes nuts. He dominates the first few minutes, and he looks like a legit martial artist in a couple of these spots. Dream hits a cheap shot and slows the pace down. They go to the arena floor. Priest hits an axe handle from the top to the floor, then rolls Kushida back into the ring for near fall. He does a Bronco Buster and then screams, "Boo me now. I'll boo you all day, every day." Kushida does really good strikes that make it look more legitimate. He's turned into a brawler. He hits Dream's arm into the ring post, and he did it so hard that Dream's glove flies off. Dream catches Kushida with a super kick to the face. Kushida responds with an armbar. Dream goes to the floor and uses a power bomb when he gets back in for two count. But Kushida goes back to the armbar, and Dream comes back with the Dream Valley Driver and the Purple Rainmaker from the top rope. Dream could not follow up quick enough to get a win here. His hesitation cost him the win, and Dream climbs to the top. Kushida goes and hits a avalanche hoverboard lock and still can't get Dream to tap out. Dream goes for another Dream Valley Driver and lands it, but this time Kushida holds on to the hoverboard lock. Kimura and Dream taps out immediately. Kushida wins. Post-match, Kushida did not let go and keeps striking him, and he lands palm strikes and elbows and all sorts of other strikes, and he keeps working on the arm. Kushida is just really intense right now, and this is a good thing. NXT, that's when they air the commercial for Halloween Havoc. Then we go to Santos Escobar defeating Isaiah Scott for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. They go 100 miles an hour from the beginning. Swerve lands a moonsault off the apron, hits a corkscrew senton from the turnbuckle, and then a Fosbury flop to the outside near the entranceway. This is all within the first 3 minutes of the match. Escobar back in the match soon, and he sends Swerve out, crashes into the barricade. They set up at ringside. Scott mounts his comeback after a few minutes of punishment, blocks a headbutt, and Swerve throws some body shots and kicks, and then he goes for a Rolling Thunder Flatliner, which is an interesting combo. Escobar attacks and does a messed up power slam attempt, and he gets a 2 count out of that. Escobar's henchmen run out. They distract Swerve. Referee or Ashanti Adonis comes out, makes a save, hits a Asai moonsault from the bottom rope to the floor, and the heels are taken out of the rest of the match. Escobar lands a Phantom Driver for a near fall. Swerve gets momentum back, and they go through probably 10 false finishes in about 3 minutes here. and then Swerve hits a 450 splash for near fall before the finish. Swerve hits his head against the ring post. Ouch. He sells like he's not silly. Hopefully he doesn't have a concussion legit. Anyway, Escobar lands a double underhook GTS, slamming Swerve into his knee, scores the win. Scott needs to be pushed. They need to do more with him than they're doing. Escobar, to me, is a failed experiment. Put the belt on Swerve as quick as possible. Io Shirai defeated Candice LeRae for the Women's Championship. Beautiful match from the beginning to the end. Probably the best match I've seen Candice in at least a year. They basically play a game of can you top this for the entire match, from mat holds to chain wrestling to aerial maneuvers, and that's just the first 5 minutes of the match. Both do dives to the floor. They basically brought everything they've got. LeRae slows the pace down and works the champ over, hits some hard stomps, and I mean LeRae is an awesome heel. She makes every strike count. She does lock in a few submissions she doesn't get the win with, but they looked believable. Shirai comes back, and LeRae misses a senton, and then she stays down with a double stomp. LeRae later intercepts Shirai, attempts a power bomb, and basically Shirai no-sells that and nails LeRae with a meteor in the corner. LeRae hits a lion salt into the ring for a 2 count. Shirai locks on the old label lock that Daniel Bryan used to use. LeRae reverses that into a no escape submission until Shirai breaks it. LeRae, accidentally takes the ref out. Shirai lands an air raid crash and goes for a moonsault. LeRae blocks it with her knees. Shirai then trips over the ref. LeRae used a curve stomp and pinned Shirai next, but the ref's still out. He's on the floor. Johnny Gargano runs out. With a ref shirt, he tries counting. A fast 3 count. Shirai kicks out. Gargano rushed to the floor, grabbed the title belt, and says it's hers. And he pointed to his wife, obviously. Argues with the ref inside the ring. And ref is now revived. The championship is slipped to his wife. She decks Shirai with the belt. LeRae pins Shirai, but she kicks out again. Shirai lands a beautiful avalanche Spanish fly. Actually, go back and watch this. Make a gif of it. Do whatever you want with it, but beautifully done. She lands a moonsault for the win. Awesome stuff. And Tori Storm appears on the monitor, and she said she's back. And she says it's Tori time. And this is a call out to Shirai. Shirai is still in the ring. We see another video on the screen. And someone arrives on a motorcycle, comes on the entrance ramp, and that is Ember Moon making her return. And then she's got a new haircut. She's looking a little more aggressive. She doesn't say anything, and this is cool. And then we go to the main event after a short little Shantae Adonis promo. This main event, go out of your way to see. This does start slow, but it's worth seeing. And it's got a main event feel. Balor controls, obviously, Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly. Balor controls the early part of the match. Hits a basement dropkick early. Balor nails him with a series of chops, and O'Reilly finally finds an opening and hits a series of strikes on his own onto Balor. Balor hits hard strikes, knees, elbows, and kicks. Then he uses two butterfly suplexes and a double arm DDT. Balor slows things down again partway through the match. Hits a camel clutch with a few hard kicks to Riley's body. Riley bleeds from the mouth. I think he got caught with one of the kicks, honestly. He takes some really hard shots. Balor gets the sharpshooter on at one point. O'Reilly barely makes it to the ropes, gets the break though. Balor lands a Pele kick, and O'Reilly just goes desperate with strikes, hits a running lariat, and locks on probably the best guillotine choke since I don't even know when in wrestling. Eventually moves to an arm lock. Balor stomps his way out. And Balor lands the 1916. O'Reilly kicks out after a near fall. Balor goes to the top for the diving double stomp. O'Reilly knocks him from the ropes and starts using dragon screw leg whips on Balor. And I mean, he's really going after the knees. He transitions to an Achilles lock and then a heel hook and back to the Achilles lock. I mean, this is probably some of the most realistic grappling that WWE's seen in at least 3 years, 5 years. I don't even know. Like, you don't see this in WWE. Except, well, that's not true. Timothy Thatcher, this is the level it's at, just with more emotion because O'Reilly's more emotional than Thatcher. Balor sells that he basically may not be able to walk after the hold. Looks like he might have had a legit injury. Balor acts like he can't stand. Takes Riley down with a quick takedown and a double stomp. O'Reilly uses a brutal flying knee drop out of nowhere. Balor hits one more double stomp and then puts O'Reilly away with the coup de grace from the top for the win. Post-match, we see Balor after the match. His mouth is bloody. I mean, this is probably the best U.S. match of the year. I'm trying to think of everything I've seen, but definitely in the top 5 of the year worldwide. Worth seeing. Balor and O'Reilly celebrate in the ring together. Ridge Holland appears in the crowd with Adam Cole draped over his shoulder. He stared at O'Reilly and the Undisputed Era, who are ringside by now, tosses Cole over the barrier on the floor. Cole basically sells like he's been permanently beat up. Strong and Fish start yelling for people to come out and help Cole. Balor looks on along from the ring. He says he doesn't know what happened. Fish and Strong are yelling. Everything ends here. They fade to black here. Definitely the best takeover of the year. Maybe one of the top 5 shows of the year. I still think face to face and nose to nose, AEW has some better shows, but definitely in the top 5 shows of the year. Top WWE show of the year. Worth going out of your way to see. There's nothing on here that's bad. I still think maybe they could have cut. Well, no, that's personal preference. I would have cut the Velveteen Dream match, or actually I would have just put someone else in there with Kushida. But other than that, a show worth seeing. Anyway, till next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.